Shalom. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai Bahashem, Ha-V'Kakodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akiam for pushing this truth with sincerity, alright? So this is just a video I came across dealing with Jake getting killed by the police, all right, over here in Aurora, Colorado. This was a story from last summer, 2019 August is when it happened. So when I'm going to play the video, and just keep in mind that this is before the pandemic, but that's just something that I'm saying because of the way this story breaks down. But I'm gonna go ahead without further ado and play the video and then bring out some scriptures.
Police officers spot the man in the mask. In less than a half hour, McLean will be in the back of an ambulance receiving CPR.
Hey, stop right there. Stop. 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 I have a right to stop you because you're being suspicious.
In order to better understand this story, you should know a few things. One, within 19 seconds of making contact, this happens.
No, let go of me. No, I am an introvert. Please respect the boundaries that I am speaking.
Stop tensing up. Stop. Relax.
Stop. I'm going home.
Relax, or I'm going to have to change this situation.
Stop.
That's the spiritual number, 1044, 144 on the screen.
Keep in mind, at this point, McLean had committed no crime. His body cameras and officers and McLean fall to the ground. One officer says this.
Grab your gun, dude.
Stop, dude. You can't exactly see what happens next, but based on the audio, it's clear. This is the moment officers apply what's known as a carotid hold on McLean's neck.
Give us some more units. We're fighting them.
The local district attorney reports at this point, McLean loses consciousness briefly. At 10:45 p.m., or a little more than 2 minutes after police make contact with him, McLean is talking.
My name's Elijah McLean.
Yeah, bro. He's carotid.
That's why I was going. I was just going home.
8 minutes will pass with McLean handcuffed down to the ground, occasionally throwing up, occasionally causing officers to say this.
Dude, chill out.
And then at 10:54 p.m., with McLean still on the ground, an officer says this.
So when the ambulance gets here, we're going to go ahead and get some ketamine. Yeah, perfect. Let's give that a couple of minutes. And then
Whatever he's on, he has incredible strength.
yeah, crazy strength.
1 minute before 11 p.m., McLean receives 500 milligrams of ketamine.
He wasn't on anything
Anesthetic.
if you look into the story.
An autopsy will suggest McLean had a therapeutic level in his blood. In other words, not enough in the mind of the coroner to kill him.
It looks like it started kicking.
7 minutes later,
He just poured. Are you serious? Yeah.
responding officers are told McLean in the back of an ambulance has no pulse. He would be revived, but 3 days later, doctors would remove life support for the brain-dead 23-year-old. Chris Vanderveen, 9 News.
Okay. Yeah, for you guys.
All right, so that's the incident. Now let me go to the, let's see, the next video.
For the first times, we are hearing an official legal position from the city.
They admit that it's a tragedy, but act as though there was nobody at fault.
A statement by the defendants, who are members of the Aurora
Call for justice over the summer. He died in August of 2019 after a struggle with Aurora police. Eddie Raynal has been following this case for months, and he joins us now. Eddie, this latest development from Aurora came from a case filing.
Yeah, that's right, Natasha. We're talking about a civil lawsuit filed by the family of Elijah McLean. The details of those documents were made public on Sunday, and for the first time, we got to really see how the Aurora Police Department, the fire department, and the city reacted to this lawsuit. We also got a chance to sit and talk with the attorney representing Elijah McLean's family about this case. Court documents show, in the civil suit filed by the family of Elijah McLean, the city of Aurora, along with police and fire department employees, deny any wrongdoing or responsibility in the August 2019 death of the 23-year-old man.
To be honest, I find their legal position to be absolutely preposterous.
Mari Newman, a civil rights lawyer and attorney for the McLean family, says the case is in the early parts of litigation, and this is one of the first times we are hearing an official legal position from the city.
They admit that it's a tragedy, but act as though there was nobody at fault.
A statement by the defendants, who are members of the Aurora Police Department, says the death of Elijah McClain is a tragedy. However, this tragedy was not caused by any acts or omissions of the Aurora Police Department defendants. The statement says the defendants denied that they used excessive force on Mr. McClain.
So that's that
and
video. And I'm going to play one more short video before I start pulling out the scriptures, all right?
In Colorado, hundreds of people protested outside an Aurora police station demanding more disciplinary action following the death of Elijah McClain. Friday's protest began hours after the police department released a disturbing photo that appears to show 3 officers mocking McClain's death. 3 officers have been fired, a 4th resigned. Protest leaders say they plan to surround the police station until the department fires the 2 remaining officers involved in McClain's death. Jamie Yukas has more.
For the first time, interim police chief Vanessa Wilson revealed these photos. We're sickened and we're angry.
They're mocking the chokeholds they put on him.
The chokehold used on Elijah McClain.
It shows a lack of morals, values, and integrity, and a judgment that I can no longer trust to allow them to wear this badge.
And they won't. Wilson fired Erica Morero and Kyle Dietrich after Jaron Jones resigned. Also fired a 4th officer, Jason Rosenblatt, who responded, ha ha, to the picture. He was involved in the original incident. Elijah McClain was not accused of any crime when officers used a chokehold on him and paramedics injected him with a sedative. He later died. Those officers were never charged with a crime. 2 still work for the department. The FBI and department.
All right, so you can see, as you can see in these videos, here in Babylon, America, it's fucking bad for Jake, man. See? Let me just pull out a couple verses here. I'm going to start out in Revelation. And I'm going to go to 12 and 10. And it reads, "And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power Yahweh and the power of his Yahushai. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power Yahweh day and night." All right, because the so-called white man, the Edomite, that's what he does. He accuses the Jake of everything, man. He accuses us of being thugs. He accuses us of being murderers. He accuses us of being everything in the book, man. You see, that's why they reproached that young man Elijah McClain and basically killed him for no reason, And at the end of the day, it's judgment from Yahweh, Nobody knows why he received that judgment but Yahweh. But what we do know is the accuser of the brethren is the Edomite, all right? Because Jacob and Esau were brothers, all right, originally. And basically that's who that accuser is, man. These Edomites accuse us Israelites day and night, like the scriptures say. And salvation and power and strength is not going to come until we are in the kingdom, when we have the rulership and the dominion over these Edomites. All right, pull out another verse. All right, Hosea 4 and 6 says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power Yahweh, I will also forget thy children," which that word children would be sons in the Hebrew. So the reason I'm bringing this out is because our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, all right? And this is why Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushai Ba'Shem allowed our people to get killed in the streets by these modern-day Roman soldiers, these cops. They would be the modern-day Roman soldier, all right? You see, Yahweh has forgotten these Jakes, these 2/3 who have not hearkened unto the truth, who have not kept his statutes, his commandments. They don't have no reverence for Yahweh, So these are why these things happen to us in the streets, all right? Because Yahweh uses the Edomite as a whipping stick on Jake, all right? Go to precept in 2nd Esdras 6 and verse 57. It reads, "And now Yahweh, behold, these heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing have begun to be lords over us and to devour us." All right? So this is why you see in our people getting devoured in the streets, man. Because Yahweh has allowed the Edomite to rule over us and devour us as a punishment. Because our people reject knowledge, so Yahweh rejects our children and our sons, like it said in Hosea 4 and 6, all right? You know? Let me read 58. "But we thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands." See? So our people are given into the hands of the Edomite. It happened in slavery. It happened during the 1492 when Columbus and then also the conquistadors came to America and conquered our people, you know, destroyed our people, right? So we've been given into the hands of the enemy. That's why the so-called white man rules over us. That's why we have to go to the so-called white man for everything, all right? It says that the serpent, that, you know, we are nourished by the serpent, the scriptures say, all right? And that serpent is that so-called white man, Esau, Edom. Let me go to another precept in Ezekiel. I'm going to hit 35 and 5. It reads, "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the sons of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity and in the time that their iniquity had an end." All right. "Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh thy power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus I will make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth." So, you know, at the end of the day, this Edomite's going to pay for his transgressions and his wickedness, all right? I can't say sin because the laws were not given to the so-called white people. That's why they don't follow the laws of the Bible, of Yahweh, all right? So you can't even say that they're sinning. They're just plain wicked, you know. That's their DNA, wicked. All right. That's why it says here that they have a perpetual hatred and shed the blood of the sons of Israel. All right, by the force of the sword. All right. You saw the video. They injected Elijah McClain with that I forgot what it was called, ketamine. I believe it was called, which basically sedates him. Ended up killing him. You know. Not only that, they was choking him. You know. All he was doing was trying to go home, you know. And mind you, he did have a mask on, but they said it was because he was anemic. Because this was before the pandemic, before we were required to wear these dumbass masks. All right. Go into Deuteronomy 28. Pull out a few precepts with respect to the story about Elijah McClain, who, like I said, at the end of the day, Yahweh judged him, you know. But like I said, he's using his sword, which is the Edomite, the so-called white man, to kill our people, you know. And then you saw the wickedness of them. Those cops, they killed him. And then they were posting up pictures of them reenacting the chokeholds, laughing. One even made a comment, you know, underneath the picture that said "ha ha," you know. Because these Edomites, they have a perpetual hatred for Israel, like we just read. Let's go back to that, because you know, if you don't believe these words, then you know you're blind, you're in darkness. All right, let me read this again. "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred," see, Perpetual means ongoing. It means it never stops. The so-called white man hates you Israelites. All right, starting off with their elite, with their top elite, wicked men that rule the planet Earth in their wickedness. All right. So I'm going to go back to Deuteronomy 28, and I'm going to start at 16. Will be the first precept. It reads, "Cursed." These are the curses that our people are under. All right. This is a big part of the reason why we know who the Israelites are, because we are the people who fit all of these curses in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Verse 16, "Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field." See? So, cursed shalt thou be in the city. The young man Elijah McClain was in the city when these Edomites killed him. All right? These cops killed him. And moving on to verse 20. "Yahweh shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me." See, our people have forgotten the true power of the scriptures. All right, they're busy worshiping devils, devils like Jesus Christ, who is not, that image, that white image, so-called white man, Edomite image of the Messiah is a lie. But that's what our people put their trust in. That's who our people pray to. The majority of our people are ready to die for the demon Jesus Christ. All right, and it's a wicked thing. The wickedness of thy doings. That's why our people are under these curses to this day, because of the wickedness that they continually do. We're going to jump to Deuteronomy 28:41. "Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity." All right, our kids, we and our kids are in captivity according to the Bible. All right, we're in Babylon, America, aka spiritual Egypt, aka Mount Seir, aka the daughter of Babylon. You see? So we don't enjoy our kids, all right? Instead, our kids get killed in the street, And I have a personal quick testimony of this. I have a 20-year-old daughter, 21, no, she's 20. And this type of similar thing happened to my daughter. She didn't get killed, but she was thrown to the ground, and these Edomite cops were on top of her, trying to they were basically fucking her up. They were slamming her face into the snow by her shoulders, and they were all Edomites. And she was acting a fool, so I'm not giving her a green light or a free pass, because what happened was she was arguing with her mother, and her mother called me. I went to go get her, and they were both drinking foolishness, and when I got there, that's what I saw. Anyway, long story short, they beat her up and gave her a felony, so that's what these Edomites do, man. Our people are cursed in the city. See? 45. "Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee." See? We're not keeping the statutes of, there's only a small remnant that are keeping his commandments to the best of their ability, And mind you, when all that drama happened with my daughter, I was telling her, hey, don't be celebrating these pagan holidays. These wickedness come out on these holidays, Sure enough, but she's 20, so she don't listen, But basically, what happened was she was trying to do the right thing, and then her heathen mom kept calling and calling, and then the cousins were calling, then the aunts were calling, and then, you know, everybody kept calling her on her phone saying, hey, come over here on Thanksgiving is what it was. And so she was actually, you know, at my house not celebrating Thanksgiving. She goes over there and end up on Thanksgiving. That's when all that drama happened. You know, those spirits are arise, those wicked spirits. That's why Israelites, you know, we're not so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. As we come into this truth, we realize we're not supposed to be partaking in these heathen customs, you know. And I told her, I warned her, I said, don't do this. And so you see the outcome. So it says, the voice of Yahweh, thy power to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. We're supposed to keep the commandment. We're not supposed to be doing Thanksgiving. We're not supposed to be doing no Christmas. We're not supposed to be, you know, celebrating our birthdays, you know. But because our people's stubborn, you know, we're reserved unto these curses, man. We're not going to come out of these curses until Yahweh Shai delivers us, all right? And he's only going to deliver a remnant, 1/3 of Israel, and 144,000 of his prophets, okay, of Yahweh's prophets, all right? So let me go to the last precept I'm going to bring out is Deuteronomy 28:65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. All right? See? So that's what our people are dealing with because of the curses that we are under. That's why Elijah McClain got killed by the police, you know, for just walking home. And that's why my daughter, she got fucked up by the police, you know, and also because of her foolishness, you know. I'm not going to pardon her in her foolishness. She was being foolish that day. Started out by going over to her mother's and practicing that heathen holiday, that heathen custom, all right? So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ha-Rekah-Kadash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth. I also want to acknowledge all the Akim for pushing this truth with sincerity. All right, shalom to the elect.